This video is designed to take a closer look at the suspension chord, how it works and why it works, and why it's one of the most popular sounds in the songwriter's toolbox and also the creative guitar player's toolbox. So let's jump right in and see where this chord comes from. For the purpose of this video, I'll be working on a D suspended fourth chord. So our first step will be to look at what notes are in a D major chord. So on the screen at the moment you'll see I have a D major scale. They are the single notes that go to make up a D major scale, and down the bottom of the screen here I have the chords that are created out of the D major scale. So here's a quick review on how I do that. I'm going to look at a D major chord, and that means I'll be starting at the note D in our D major scale, and then I'll be simply doing a leapfrog process. I'll be playing every second note D, skipping over E, selecting the note F sharp, hopping over the note G, and then selecting the note A. And the idea is that when I play D, F sharp and A together, I could play these three notes on a guitar or a piano, or we could have a choir where one person sings a D, another person sings an F sharp, and then another person sings an A. And when they sing the three notes D, F sharp and A, when they sing them simultaneously, the chord produced by the choir would be a D chord. Okay, so we've established the notes in a D major chord are D, F sharp and A. Our next step is to work out what notes are in a D minor chord. Now as you can see from our chart here, D minor is not created from a D major scale. There's no D minor chord in the D major scale. So I'm going to go, say, to the key of C here, for example, where we have a D minor chord, and I'm going to work out what notes are in a D minor chord using the same process that we just did before, but this time I'll be working with the key of C, the scale of C. So I'm going to start at the second note in the C major scale, and I'll do our leapfrog process. D, F, and A. So the notes in a D minor chord are D, F, and A. On a previous video, we discussed how we created a D suspended fourth chord. So here's a quick review. We take the first note, then the fourth note, and then the fifth note. So it's the first note in the scale, the fourth note, and the fifth note, and that creates the suspended fourth chord. Now that we know how to spell the D major, D minor and D suspended fourth chord, it should be easy to see why the suspended fourth chord is a very good chord to know if you're a songwriter or a creative guitarist. The difference between a D major and a D minor occurs with the note F. It's either an F sharp in the D major chord or an F natural in the D minor chord. In the D suspended fourth chord, we do away with the F note, so therefore we create this ambiguous sound. We have the D and the A from the D major and the D minor chord, but we're not telling the listener whether it's a D major or a D minor. As we know, songwriting is about storytelling, so if you've got an ambiguous sounding chord, it will create a lot of mystery and intrigue. And here's how that looks on the guitar. We've got a D major chord, we have an A note here, we've got a D note, and an F sharp on the first string. Over to D minor, again we have the note A at the second fret on the third string, we have the note D, and this time we have the note F on the first string at the first fret. And now onto the D suspended fourth chord. The A note is still there on the third string at the second fret, so is the D note, but this time we have a G on the first string. And of course on all three chords we've been playing the D open. That's the fourth string.